Hi, friends. Happy Friday. I am so glad to be here with you. Thank you for sticking with us today. We normally do the Brave in Action live show on Wednesdays, but Wednesday was a really big day here in the United States. It was inauguration where we inaugurated our very first woman, our very first person of color, and our very Black and Indian descent as Vice President of the United States. I know that you all know that. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but wow, I am rejoicing in the excitement and the joy of that. It has been an incredible week, an exhausting and exhilarating week. And I have noticed for myself more than ever how important it has been to be honest about my own personal self boundaries. And I've been working with clients on this. It feels like things that we thought we were really doing better. I have one client in particular was really thriving in the area of boundaries. And then somehow we have let those things slide a little. So I thought I would come on today and talk with you about boundaries, the importance of boundaries, and the importance of setting boundaries with and for yourself, and the challenge in that. And it is a challenging thing to do. It's hard to hold ourselves accountable. But if we really follow the BRAVE method, and for those of you who don't know it, I will restate it. BRAVE stands for boundaries, reassessment, reframing, and resilience, action and accountability, vulnerability and authenticity, and then expand and empower, right? And so if you really follow the BRAVE method, obviously boundaries is first, and we're talking about boundaries, but if you use the 3 R's, the reassessment, the reframing, and the resilience, then you will be able to clearly see the areas that would benefit you to have more firm boundaries, or some boundaries at all, or maybe even to let go of some boundaries that you've had in the past that no longer serve you. And the way that we do that is by connecting with ourselves and seeing how we truly feel at the end of the day, the week, the month, the year. How do you feel? And if something isn't right there, then you can put a boundary in place to create true shift. I don't buy it when folks say there's nothing I can do to change the situation. There is always at least one thing we can do to change any situation. And it's quite often about acknowledging a boundary, communicating it, setting it, communicating it, and then sticking to it. So boundaries for ourselves can be anything like cutting off work at a particular time, or making sure. I was on a client call earlier today, and he said, I never really disengage for lunch. I go all day. I start at 7 a.m. and I go until midnight, and there's no break. And so we talked about the value and the importance of putting a time block in his schedule from 12 to 12:30 that will be lunchtime. And he doesn't need to eat the whole time. If he wants to take 10 or 15 minutes to eat, maybe it's going to take a walk or to meditate or to read for a few minutes or do something to fill him with a little bit of joy and to decompress and to get creative and restructure things so that he can go back to work with a fresh set of eyes. Those are the kinds of things that have tremendous impact, and they seem almost silly. How often are you working at your desk while you eat? Happens a lot. However, this is one simple way that you can create some masterful change and shift in your energy in your life. This is also one of the things that stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. I've been talking a lot about that because, y'all, there's science behind this. The BRAVE method isn't just an idea. It isn't just fun. It isn't woo-woo. There's real science behind each and every one of these things. If you choose to participate in them, you will be stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system. And that is the only thing that decreases stress, anxiety, and depression. Your parasympathetic nervous system. Having a gratitude practice will strengthen that, right? Gratitude is proven to increase overall happiness and well-being and decrease stress, anxiety, and depression. All of these things, why do we care as business owners? Well, because we want to have thriving businesses. We want to be leaders in thriving communities where there's not so much turnover and there's not so much burnout, and people bring their best selves to the table. And this comes from honoring a whole person, a whole employee, and a whole self. That's why we talk about radical self-care. radical self-love, radical self-compassion, radical authenticity. I use the word radical very intentionally because to set really strong and clear boundaries with and for others and with and for ourselves is a radical change from where we've been for many, many years, especially here in the United States. And so I want to know from all of you, what are you doing to set boundaries for yourself? How are you holding yourself accountable? Who are the people that are helping you follow through with all of those things? Because it's very difficult to do these things on our own without any level of accountability. I know in my Intentionally Brave Entrepreneurs program, these folks have worked very hard with one another to say, these are the boundaries I want to set for myself. These are the things I want to do for myself. These are the ways I want to push myself. I'm telling you so that I can be held accountable for it. So asking for that accountability. So while you're setting boundaries for yourself, I don't want to say yes to as many things. I want to make sure that I eat at least one healthy meal a day. I'd like to meditate for 5 minutes a day or journal every day or whatever it is it's going to be. I'm not going to check email all day, every day. I'm going to time block email. It could be anything. When we put it out there and we ask other people that we trust and admire to help us stay accountable to that, it is so much more likely to happen. And you have the power to do that. There is no situation in your life that is so out of control that you can't do at least one thing to create change and shift in it. And I urge you to think about what that one thing could be today, and then take one small intentional step, one little bitty baby step, and be actionable to create that change. So I hope that you will comment below and let me know and let Team Brave know and everyone out there, what do you want to do? What change are you going to create? What boundary are you going to put in place? And how do you think that in so doing, things will be better? How are they going to shift? Imagine it, picture it in your head so that you can do the hard work to achieve it. We will be back next week. We will be back on Wednesday, which is when we normally go live for Brave in Action. I hope that you have an incredible weekend and that you can decompress and de-stress and de-social media and all of those fun things. And as always, if you would like to know more, if you would like to connect, if you have questions, I invite you to join me in a virtual coffee chat. You can go to vickeryandco.com. That's my website, and schedule a virtual coffee chat. It would be a pleasure and a delight to connect with you. So this is Heather Vickery reminding you today and always to go out and choose bravely. Have a great weekend. Bye.